Ask and ye shall receive. I know folks don't have an attention span longer than 20 seconds, and I don't usually ask anybody to watch fully through my videos or to share them, but I am asking you to watch this fully through. You can watch it on 2x speed to make it faster, and to share it with everyone you know, especially if you know any conservatives, because they probably don't even know about this. This is incredibly important, and people need to know what's happening, and they need to take action now. So why do I have this post up from Trump's football Twitter when this video is about the so-called Antisemitism Awareness Act? Because I just wanted to mention how stupid our politics is and how much people in this country never give a fuck about anything until it's too late, until the bill's already passed. Like, you hear people constantly whining about our surveillance state and how the Patriot Act just decimated privacy for Americans in this country. But no one cared at the time that it passed. Somewhat understandably, because it happened right after 9/11 and there was a lot of propaganda. And of course, they do what they always do, where they name it like the opposite of what it is. The Patriot Act, as they erode your constitutional rights. But every time the Patriot Act has come up for reauthorization, no one says anything. The same people that complain about what a disastrous bill it was and how much it infringed on Americans' Fourth Amendment rights never have anything to say. That's what's happening now. Right now, in the news, all over the media, all over X, rather than talking about the fact that right now, they are trying to move this bill through the Senate, the so-called Antisemitism Awareness Act. Rather than talk about that, everybody's talking about the fact that Trump said, "I hate Taylor Swift." That he put on his Truth Social, "I hate Taylor Swift." That is what's trending. That is what all the journalists and reporters are talking about. All the right-wing influencers who made millions and millions of dollars off of pretending they were free speech absolutists. I'm talking about people like Jordan Peterson, Barry Weiss, Brett Weinstein, or Eric, I don't remember which one it is, but the one who pretends to be all about free speech, the intellectual dark web guy. Ben Shapiro, Rave Dubin, Tim Pool, Steve Crowder, all the ones who built their following off of being pro-free speech. Where's Alex Jones, Mr. I've got a conspiracy about everything and they're always trying to take our rights away? Where is he tweeting about this? Who gives a fuck what Donald Trump thinks about Taylor Swift? People need to understand what the fuck is going on right now and call their fucking senators. This hack, Richie Torres, who's an alleged congressperson who allegedly represents the Bronx, but actually just is on the Israeli regime's payroll. If this motherfucker spent even a quarter of the time that he spends working for the Israeli lobby on behalf of black people, we'd have reparations by now. Was tweeting about this. See, he blocked me from his personal account, but he can't block me from his government account. Talking about urging colleges to adopt this because they understand that colleges is where a lot of these kids for the first time in their lives find out the truth. So they want to make sure that that stops happening, okay? I want the Democrats defending this to explain how this is any different than what the Republicans are trying to do with Black history in this country. How is this different? You guys rail against the right wing trying to take out history from the classroom and try to erase the history of Black Americans. But you want the history of the Israeli regime and what they've done and continue to do to the Palestinians to be erased from the classroom. The Israeli lobby is pressuring Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to bring the Antisemitism Awareness Act, H.R. 6090, in the Senate, it's Senate Bill 4237, to a vote in the Senate now that Congress has reconvened on September 9th. We need to make clear to Chuck Schumer and to the Senate that Americans oppose this censorship bill, and we need to make our voices heard immediately. When the House passed H.R. 6090, they did it as a fast-track vote, passing the bill in a subcommittee with a floor vote on the same day. And pause for a second. That just proves once again that when they want something to pass like that, they can get it through committee, get it on the floor for a vote on it, like immediately. But when it comes to anything that would help you, $15 minimum wage, paid family leave, universal pre-K, PRO Act, anything that has to do with helping you, all of a sudden it's the filibuster. All of a sudden there's partisanship and there's gridlock and Congress just can't agree on anything and Republicans and Democrats just can't agree on anything. No, this is what it really is. When it comes to helping the rich, corporations, the military-industrial complex, or the Israeli regime, oh man, they get their shit together real fast. This was done intentionally before the public could even react. We cannot be this blindsided again because this time it will be too late. Hate crimes are already illegal in the United States, and civil rights law afford Jewish people the same protection as everyone else. The Anti-Semitism Awareness Act is an attempt to censor speech critical of the Israeli regime and is an infringement on the First Amendment rights of Americans. Americans. What is more troubling is that the goal of redefining anti-Semitism to the IHRA definition is a strategic goal of the Israeli regime, which was approved in November 2023 as part of their plan to crush American protests against the Israelis' genocide in Gaza. This bill is unconstitutional, riddled with foreign interference, and must be stopped. This bill literally redefines the definition of anti-Semitism to include any criticism of the ideology of Zionism and any criticism of the Israeli regime and their genocide in Gaza. So understand that. A foreign lobby on behalf of a foreign government wants to make it illegal for you, an American, to criticize the foreign government. Our Congress is more than happy to take away your First Amendment rights, your constitutional rights, to criticize anyone we want on behalf of a foreign government. They want to make it illegal for you to criticize Zionism as an ideological project. That's like making it illegal to criticize Democrats or illegal to criticize Republicans. Like, really let this sink in, you guys. Our Congress, our supposed representatives, want to erode your free speech rights in service of a foreign government. So you can criticize our own country, but you can't criticize the Israeli regime, okay? If you're already not following Track AIPAC on X and other social media platforms, you should be, because they give really good updates about how our Congress is bought and paid for by the Israeli regime. This is the call to action. You need to be exerting pressure on your lawmakers now. The reason why they're able to get away with this shit is because everyone's too busy talking about Donald Trump's tweet about Taylor Swift than they are about the fact that they are literally trying to erode your First Amendment, your first. Hey, you Second Amendment folks, it's second. What's the First Amendment? This is why I can't handle frauds like Alex Jones, because he's always on the case, talking about how the government's eroding your freedoms, but he hasn't said shit about this. Where you at, Playboy? Motherfuckers like him chasing culture wars and dragging you down conspiratorial rabbit holes that don't make any fucking sense. Meanwhile, the conspiracy is right in front of your face. It's in plain sight, and he's not saying shit about it, and neither are you. Let me tell you this. If you're not going to care about this or do anything about this, I don't want to hear you talk about how the government's attacking our freedoms anymore. Specifically, you right-wingers, because you love to talk about how you're holding the government accountable, crying about how we live in an authoritarian state and Democrats this. Okay, now, this is the part where you're supposed to freak out on the Democratic president and the Congress. This would be the part. I know you guys don't actually care about any policy and it's all just about vibes and conspiracies for you, but why don't you use a little bit of that energy to pick up your phone and call your senator and tell them to vote no against this bill? And everyone do so. I don't care if you're a leftist or a communist or a lib or a conservative or a libertarian. This is an attack on all of our rights. Call them.